You have reached the voice mailbox of
The Beards and Sundries Market.
The voicemail box is currently
Empty.
To reach our loyal and devoted team members, please make sure to leave a message for a chance to hear your voice captured on the internet until the end of all time. Thank you,
Beardo.
and have the day you deserve.
And welcome back.
Hi.
Hello.
Welcome back to Season 3, Episode 8 of Beards and Sundries.
The Ocho.
8 sounds great. That's right, guys. It's time for another lunch break here at Beards and Sundries, the shop where 3 gay men with beards do inventory on a new sundry in each episode.
My name is Jay, and as a millennial, I love to trigger boomers with questions like, are $2 bills legal tender?
Oh, that'll get them going.
And I'm Anthony, and to this day, I'm awaiting the death of capitalism.
Don't hold your breath.
I don't know. It's either soon or not soon. I can't tell yet.
And I'm Joe, and what do you mean you don't want to pay $85 a month for channels you won't ever watch? And that means that today's sundry items are industries that are being killed off. Now, as millennials, the 3 of us are very well aware of our impact on capitalism. Today, we're going to chat about some things that are dying out and why it is perceived that our generation is to blame. Later on, Anthony has a homebrewed game for us this week, but before we get too far into it, how about this week's voicemail?
I'm giving everyone a little bit of credit because we really recorded last week's and this week's episode back-to-back next days, and so there wasn't time to do more voicemails, so no criticizing from me.
That's right, Beardos. The day that this episode is dropping, Anthony and I are currently probably in the air. We are heading back from our company retreat this year from Minneapolis, Minnesota. So we pre-recorded this episode before our trip. So you guys get a pass this week, but you're on thin ice.
He's always so mad.
Yeah, very angry.
Not mad, just letting you know that you're on thin ice.
He beats us in the break room.
He does. He's mean.
With both hands.
No, Joe, you're stroking the wrong way.
No, not that way.
Yeah, I am.
Not that way either.
Horizontally.
No, like that.
You decide how that looks.
Why does it feel like someone else is doing it now? Oh, God, the sensitivity.
Oh God. That's a throwback to a friend of ours. Well, Joe, do you think I need some additional sundries to make my avocado toast?
No, but the billionaires sure think you do. But if you guys are new to our show and you're wondering just what the hell a sundry is, the term comes from an old English word meaning odds and ends. Now, these days, it's used mainly in retail to group together items that don't typically have a group of their own. So, as 3 apparently homicidal gay men with beards, or maybe you could say homicidal gay men with beards, we are using the term to group together the wide range of topics that we cover.
Wow.
Great as always.
That intro was deadly.
I'm going to kill it off just like big box stores.
And get you like a snapping turtle.
I'm going to shine the light on this problem.
Are millennials killing the giant light bulb industry?
Yes, if it's incandescent.
Aren't those illegal now?
Yes.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
I think they
You can't sell them anymore.
just made it where it has to be LED now. I can hear boomers being like, where can I get soft white bulbs? And I'm just like, the same place you could before. It's just now in a less energy burning style bulb.
And they're even more sophisticated now. Like, they're engineered to be soft white. Like, they're supposed to look just like incandescents. There's no difference.
I'm waiting for Republicans to start being all like, what would Thomas Edison say about this? I'd be like, yeah, he'd probably be like, he would have already stolen LED technology and patented it and been like, oh, this is mine.
Yeah, he would have already plagiarized his ideas from somebody else and created better light bulbs.
Exactly.
What? Historical figures being naughty?
That actually may be a good jumping off point. Are millennials killing the false history industry?
Ooh, are millennials
With
killing
what?
the people we
Fact-checking?
idolize?
I mean, more often than
Right.
not, we've been revealing the truth about historical figures in our country. So,
If the information age has taught me anything, it's that I can find anything at any kind of search engine way easier than I was ever taught in school, especially growing up in West Virginia.
Oh my gosh. I actually heard about encyclopedias on another podcast today, and it just made me think of how I used to have to research in encyclopedias when I was a kid for school. And it
And
was
how you
this.
used to have to cite them.
Yes, and it was
Mhm.
literally, we had 2 shelves along the wall that were pushed together, and it was all just full of encyclopedias that I'm sure we bought from a door-to-door salesman.
So, do you think the encyclopedia industry is being killed off? Because surely they're still selling to schools. They have to be. They still have libraries, right?
I
Well-
don't think that's how that works.
I feel like it's now just mostly a digital format. Like,
Yeah.
why would you buy paper
computers?
books?
Exactly. Why would you manufacture paper books when you could do?
I mean, they weren't manufacturing them when we were in school. I mean, how old were your textbooks when you were in school?
Our textbooks?
Oh God, old.
We had like a random new one each year, and then we had ancient ones. I mean, it's kind of like that Family Guy skit that was like, move over,
new
here
country
comes.
everyone's gonna
Yeah,
love.
That's
new
exactly
country
what I was
everyone's
thinking.
gonna love. And I'm just like,
Our books were like
What?
Hawaii, the newest state that everyone's going to go crazy for.
the teachers always had to write in there, no, we have 50 states, not 48. I like how you guys don't freeze on mine.
Oh,
You didn't freeze that time.
you
You're
didn't
fine.
freeze. We were just having a moment.
Oh, I thought
Yeah.
I froze again.
It's called the millennial pause. Remember?
We were having the
That's
millennial
right.
pause.
I was like, that's funny, you didn't freeze. I was just watching you react anyways.
But yeah, I imagine like if the encyclopedia industry was an industry, that's officially not a thing.
Yeah.
At least paperback.
Actually, I'm going to Google that. Can I still buy physical encyclopedias?
I mean, I feel like Encyclopedia Britannica can't have gone anywhere, else we would have heard about it. Because they're the big name. They're big encyclopedia.
Oh,
The World Book Encyclopedia is the only general A to Z print research source that is still published today.
huh.
Wow. I do remember using them in school.
I mean, I guess it makes sense that some reference materials would still be printed to a capacity. Like legal reference books have to just still exist, or else
That's true.
what would lawyers fill their fucking pretentious offices with?
Yeah.
That's true.
That ugly beige book with the brown and green stripe on it.
Yep, that's the one.
Yeah, I definitely know those books.
I feel like the issue right now is that even though we have access to all of this wealth of information, we have a good portion of our country that still doesn't want to teach children that maybe things weren't so grand and great and rosy.
Oh man, it's critical race theory, right? Like all of the book bans they're trying to enforce to kind of glaze over history when like it comes back to that thing we talked about a few weeks ago where if you don't learn about history, you're doomed to repeat it, right?
Mm,
I also just find it funny that they're like, we have to shield kids from this kind of information. It's ridiculous. It's harmful. And I'm like, they all find out later. Like,
yeah.
look how we're
Yeah.
going. We found out all this stuff.
I'm still really angry that I had to find out about the Tulsa Race Massacre from a show on HBO.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I
90s.
live in Tulsa. I lived here for 10 years and I didn't know anything about it. And that made me really upset.
Even the game from like 2 weeks ago kind of annoyed me because it was, I found out stuff about famous people that you really idolize. You're raised to idolize. They did good things, but even though they did that one good thing or whatnot, there was a lot of shit behind them. That I'm like, oh no.
Yeah.
Oh.
It really changed my mind about Albert Einstein, that's for sure.
Oh,
Einstein
I
and Lincoln.
know.
I kind of knew a little bit about Lincoln, but Einstein really threw me through a loop, that's for sure.
I guess that's because you don't ever really study the history behind Einstein as a person. Like,
No.
you get-
Because that's the way the
mentioned
books
about-
are written.
Yeah.
he's like mentioned in passing.
Yeah, you learn of his
Yeah.
theories and how intelligent he was. And then a lot of people are like, he was pretty quiet. And so you're just thinking that he's this humble, quiet man that's smart. And you're like, oh, precious.
I saw a meme on Facebook actually that showed three men, and it was like, which one would you bring back? And it was Nikola Tesla, Albert Einstein, and Stephen Hawking. And I was like, Hawking, easy. Bring
Hawking,
him back.
easy. Yeah, next
he was a
question.
brilliant mind that was imprisoned in a unfortunately deteriorating body. And then I saw
Yeah.
Einstein, and I was like, that motherfucker, fuck that guy. And then I saw Stephen Hawking, and I thought about that guy on Family Guy where he's like, boom shakalaka, boom shakalaka,
Boom, shakalaka.
boom shakalaka.
Oh my God, when he's arguing with his wife that's in the same condition and,
And he
he's like,
bumps into her.
listen, yes. And their
Stop,
sex,
you're
oh,
hurting
yes.
me.
I love that they had Stephen
I hate
Hawking
this.
on Futurama, like as himself, a couple of times. So there's that episode where they are doing they do something with Gary Gygax and a bunch of nerds, but Stephen Hawking is there as like the head of Stephen Hawking, and this wormhole appears in the middle of the thing. He goes, "It's a Hawking hole. I saw it first. It's mine."
Boom shakalaka.
Oh, boom, shakalaka. That's going to be
hurting
our
me.
phrase through the rest of the show, just out of the blue.
You think I like to hurt? You think I like hitting you in public? Oh, okay.
So we killed greenwashing history. Is that what we should call it?
I mean, whitewashing history.
What's
Oh,
greenwashing?
I say greenwashing a lot because it's what like marketing does for example, when you look at products that say stuff like farm to table or whatnot, or
all
fat-free
natural.
and stuff, yeah, all natural, and
Yeah.
like you really look through it, and it's one ingredient's natural, and like there's no laws on it, so it's
Yeah,
presenting objects as being very healthy for you, when in all reality they're not.
like how the bread that we have in the pantry says made with no high fructose corn syrup, and I'm like, it's wheat bread. The fuck? Were you
Yeah.
making it with high fructose
And
corn
also-
syrup before?
It also
Yeah.
says great value bread made with love, and I'm like, there is not a single ounce of love in this entire loaf of bread.
Yeah,
Only sadness.
only capitalism. And so I always anything like this, I call it greenwashing, because we're taking the goods that we want to show and hiding all the bads.
I mean, I just call it whitewashing because white people really want it to sound that way.
It's not the same thing. I get it.
I almost majored in advertising in college, and looking back, I'm kind of glad I didn't, because I would have been a really bad person by now.
Marketing is
Because-
just such a fucking
Man,
Marketing is
they
purely
lie
manipulation.
through their teeth.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Without even caring about it.
I mean, look at our podcast ads.
Oh right.
Exactly. I had a friend who did an art project in college where they had to do a reverse marketing poster. So they took, they did a cell phone ad, and you know how like Verizon or AT&T will be like free phone, and then at the bottom it has all the like terms and conditions.
Yeah.
What she did with it was she reversed it, and then she blew up all the terms and conditions and made them like the majority of the poster all over the whole thing. And then at the very bottom in like 8-point font, it said asterisk free phone with new offer. And it was a really interesting way to like flip the script and change how advertisements show things and how they
Yeah.
also hide things at
Yep.
the same time.
Did you guys ever watch Mad Men?
I watched it. I thought it was great. I thought it was very well done, and I thought it was completely accurate, and it definitely showed a lot about how that industry was run at that time in history.
Too bad we haven't killed that one.
Right? It is a fantastic show, but for example, I mean, they're talking about advertising cigarettes after the government comes out and says every box is required to talk about how it causes cancer. And so they're like, we're screwed now. And so now they're like, well, now we can market it however we want that doesn't talk about health. And so he's like, for example, it's toasted and all that jazz. And he goes, that seems appealing to people. And so it's interesting how they find a little aspect that'll make you just crave it almost. I mean, a lot of advertising is sexual in submissive ways that you don't know.
Yeah.
I laughed so hard the other day when I was listening to the episode again about how you worked at that restaurant. You were like, and we had smoking and non-smoking that were separated by nothing.
Yeah. There was a partition that was the same height as me. I could see over it.
Jay, we all know that smoke falls to the floor. Surely the partition worked.
Not even a smoke machine smoke falls to the floor. You literally have to create like this cold atmosphere to get it to settle.
Well, I actually pulled up an article from cbinsights.com that's 14 industries that are being blamed on millennials for dying out. And I've already seen a couple that I'm apparently single-handedly keeping alive. So this is already kind of a farce.
I have several just in mind that I could think of, so I'm ready to hear this one.
Well, you want to talk about golf? Because I would love to talk about that one.
Golf?
Yeah.
Golf is an industry that is it's still alive and
Parasite.
well. I don't think it's going anywhere anytime soon. So if you love golf, don't fucking worry. But I am not a fan of golf because it is highly impractical, especially for the environment. It's slow. It's boring, in my opinion. It uses an incredible amount of water, especially in areas that it's not natural, like Arizona or Florida. And I just think it's a huge waste of resources and a huge waste of money.
Yeah. It's a drain on public resources. I mean, that's my argument against it all the time.
So I actually agree because golf courses take up so much space. But one thing is
Space and water.
Yeah. I work in an industry where everyone golfs. And so to me, golf is nowhere near going away just because everyone I know golfs.
It's definitely not going away.
I enjoy golfing from the aspect of like Top Golf and all, where we drink and we swing and all that. I don't need the full course where I'm trapped out in the heat all day, but
That's exactly it. It can be condensed down into a smaller footprint, both physically and environmentally. It doesn't need to be this entire country club that's sprawling across acres and acres that need to be maintained and mowed and swept and
watered.
Take up all this water that we are already.
Anytime I think of droughts in California, I think of the golf courses out there that are well maintained and watered every single fucking day. And I think what a fucking waste. What a waste. You're experiencing a drought.
Waste.
That should be the very first thing to go. You shouldn't be watering your lawns. You shouldn't be watering your fucking golf courses. That's a public resource. Stop wasting it on ostensible bullshit.
And they probably get discounts on that water for some reason.
Oh, I'm sure they do.
When you could easily just sit in your living room with your friends and play Mario Golf.
Which is way more fun because you get
way more fun.
You know, Joe, on GTA, we can also play golf.
That's true. We can play golf on Grand Theft Auto Online. You know how much water that wastes? None.
Joe, what's next on the list that we're killing?
The first one on this list that I'm seeing that is definitely not being killed by me is American cheese, which, y'all, if you really know me, you know that this whole entire titty is just American cheese right here.
We buy the Costco size.
It's processed, it's trash, it's not good for you, it's chemicals, but it melts so well. It goes perfect on a burger or like a sandwich with lunch meat. Which my mom would be like, stop eating that lunch meat. It's full of nitrites. Ha,
your mom is going to listen to
that. I know. I'm going to get in so much trouble, but whatever. It's poison. Stop eating it. No.
I am definitely killing American and yellow cheeses because I normally just buy white cheeses of any sort, but that's not processed.
Wow. You don't buy black cheese?
Is there a black cheese on the market? I would like to try it.
It's not that you should be eating.
Truffle cheese? Truffle?
Ooh, truffle cheese.
Actually, cheddar cheese can be naturally yellow and orange.
Don't you feel stupid now?
Oh, I know. Sometimes I add cheddar cheese to stuff, but I don't eat a lot of it because it's also higher in fats or cholesterol or something.
Well,
and so I have to reduce it. So I have to reduce it. So I just do a lot of white cheeses because of that.
Cheddar to be sharp as fuck, boy.
I'm not even doing it because I care. I do it because I'm unhealthy.
Another one on here that I'm definitely not responsible for is canned tuna, which I like canned tuna. I buy it in water. I don't buy the unhealthy version that's in oil. But I use it all the time I make like tuna salad, I'll make a tuna melt, I'll add it to macaroni and cheese and make tuna mac. And I'm definitely not responsible for killing it. And I'm a millennial. Ew.
It's a quick way to get lean protein.
It
I
is.
Eat a lot of tuna, but whenever I don't have the packets in stock from my ex's insane food stock during COVID.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he went and bought a bunch of food, so I have a ton of packets of tuna still left from that. And
wow.
They just don't expire. And then
Right.
So I open them and
I like to buy it.
I make fried tuna patties, which I love, and I do those with macaroni and cheese and peas. It's like kind of this combo I love.
That sounds delicious, actually.
It does sound
fried
really
tuna
good.
patties I grew up with, and I didn't like them as a kid, and as an adult, I fucking love them.
I'm the same. I didn't like tuna when I was a kid. My dad used to make tuna sandwiches for himself all the time, and I just thought it was gross. But then when I got older and got into college, I got this huge, crazy, like, appreciation for it because it was such an easy way to make a quick sandwich, get protein, and just kind of whip up a quick
And bad
tuna
breath.
salad sandwich. Oh, yeah.
Well, I mean,
Don't microwave that stuff in the break room.
worth it. We did this diet once where one of our meals every day was like tuna with a little bit, it was basically tuna salad with like some nuts. And I would literally just take some like cashews, crush them up and put them in the tuna salad and just spoon it into my mouth. And it was fucking delicious.
For some meal preps, I've also done just like a cold tuna pasta salad that I'll stash for the week. And
Ooh, that sounds good too.
it's
That does
good.
sound
Yeah.
good, like a
I think it has
macaroni salad
onion
with
and
tuna.
peas in it with macaroni and tuna. And I can't remember what else is mixed in it, but it's delicious.
Yeah,
Probably
that
like a
sounds
mayo-based
awesome.
dressing, too.
I think so, yeah.
So if canned tuna is being killed, it's definitely not because of the three of us.
Well, it's because of Jay. Jay isn't actually buying it. He's just using his vast stores of tuna that he has.
Tuna and yellow rice are the two things that I have this mass storage of.
Yellow rice is so good, though.
I do love yellow rice.
It's so
Yeah.
tasty. I can shovel so much of that down my throat. Just like other things.
Ooh.
Tuna
Another
slut.
one on here
Red-
that we can
yellow rice
probably
slut.
talk
Right?
pretty well
Both.
about is cable TV. If you're
Guilty.
a cord cutter like us, Anthony and I cut the cable back in like right after we moved here, I think.
2014?
We didn't have cable very long in this house. I know that
We had it for a minute, but we got rid of it pretty quick.
It just wasn't worth it. We just weren't watching anywhere
Watching
near
it.
what we were paying for. And the streaming services back then were so much more reasonable that it was so much cheaper just to get rid of cable.
And I think we cut it in 18 or 19. And we went to YouTube TV because it was like cable and it was $45 a month or something like that. And we had all the channels we
Which
wanted and liked.
You still have it, right?
I do not. I cut
Oh.
it this last year because it shot up to nearly 80 in this short amount of time. It's gone up
Whoa.
so much. And I realized that I would just turn it on and watch the same 3 channels. That was just
Oh.
reruns of shows playing that I literally had on other apps. So I finally canceled it.
Yeah.
And my biggest concern was making sure that I had local channels so I could watch live weather. And both Peacock and Paramount give me NBC and CBS Live. So I'm just like, okay.
Which for me, to get the weather, I just use an app on my phone. I use the KTUL weather app. And then if there's ever like a tornadic situation happening, I can just go on YouTube and search like the news channel and then live weather. And they're typically doing a YouTube live of the coverage. So I still don't have to pay for any kind of cable. So there's
And
workarounds for it that work just fine.
I did that because I also like have a TV in my garage where my cellar is. And so I have a Fire Stick out on that TV. So I can watch TV while standing in the garage if I need to, if something's close and I need to go down to my cellar. And the only reason I fret about cell phones is because during the Moore tornado that happened in 2013, everyone was using their cell phone so much that we were struggling to get any service for streaming live TV.
Yeah.
And so I was like, I don't want to fret about that. So I'm just going to use internet.
Well, and then that was also before there were so fucking many of them, like what Peacock and Paramount Plus and Disney Plus and
Dropout
Max
TV.
luckily, Dropout TV is very well worth it at only $5 a
Way
month.
worth
But
it. Yeah, super cheap.
we did have almost all of them for a little while, but we've been doing some cutbacks here at the house, and we got rid of what we get rid of. We got rid of Peacock and Paramount, I think.
Peacock and Paramount, and then we got rid of Apple TV, which we were paying for, and then we got rid of a couple of extra channels we had on Prime, which I think was like one of them gave us the Food Network, and we didn't really use
That was
it
Discovery
as much
Plus,
as,
I think.
yeah, that's what it was, and MGM Plus, and we've opted to sail the high seas, Beardos.
Because it's very easy. But we have the big three, which I think everyone could consider as Netflix, Amazon, and Hulu. Those are basically the most important ones in our house, the most watched
and we
ones,
have
that's
Max.
for sure.
I was
Max like,
we do have
every
Max.
day.
Max is one of my very top ones, but I just looked over them this weekend, and Netflix is about the only one I watch the least of out of Peacock, Netflix, Hulu, Disney Plus, Prime, Paramount, Apple TV Plus, and Max. All of those. Netflix is probably my least one. Oh, Netflix and Apple TV.
We've been landing more and more on Amazon and Max these days, and Hulu for things that like air the day before.
Yep. Because I don't know anything that's on Netflix right now that I need to watch. I need to finish The Witcher, but
I'm kind of just waiting for Stranger Things, but I'm to the point where I feel like I can just cancel it, and then if I want to watch something on it, I'll renew it. But for me, I'm like, I even cut it down from 4K because I'm like, well, I don't need to spend $20 a month. So I cut it down to like the $10 a month one, and I'm still not using it enough to make it worth.
Well, and honestly, with the strike ongoing, rightfully so, as it should be ongoing until they can actually get something that's right, Stranger Things is still in limbo, is it not?
I don't know. I haven't even paid attention.
I have no idea, honestly. I just assumed everything was like delayed right now.
It's funny you talked about your phone plan because I think Max, Apple TV Plus, and Disney Plus, and one other are actually in my phone plan. Oh, and then Apple Music is in my phone plan.
Oh, yeah.
So because I use Apple Music for something specific, and
I use Apple Music too. I like it a lot.
I use it too.
But then I also have Spotify, but that's because I partner with one of my other friends who pays for it, and I give her my Peacock.
I remember like working at Verizon and like getting all of those things included. And now the new plans are like, you only pay for what you want. And so everything's a la carte now.
Didn't it used to be that way anyway?
Yeah, I mean, it was. But
and now it's kind of circled back to that?
They basically are like, the plan's like a little cheaper, but then you could add these add-ons and you get like maybe a $2 discount for having Hulu on there. Like whatever the little discount you get for buying it through Verizon is. But everything's a la carte, so it's not as price effective as it used to be.
The way that I set mine up, I think I calculated that I'm saving like $10 a month.
$10. You could pay for parking with that.
Yeah, I was like, I mean, it's not very much, but in the grand scheme, that's what, $120 a month. So I was like, I'll take it.
$120 a year?
Or yeah, sorry, $120 a year. Wow. My brain was like, $10 a month. Math, carry the one. But because I'm being so budget conscious this year, just trying to train myself not to be so impulsive when I shop, that I started doing stuff like that, where even if it saves a little, in the long run, it can save a lot. So I just was like, just fucking do it.
Yeah, I get that. But I'm glad to see cable on the decline because it had such a monopoly on our lives.
And the commercials suck.
Having a life of no commercials has been very weird because we're watching Big Brother right now. And so we watch the episodes live and having commercials again. I'm like, what the fuck?
I hate the interruption.
Yeah.
I hate it.
We watch Food Network TV shows where like we know when the commercial break's coming, so like the title card comes in, and then it's just the quick cutout, and then the title card comes back, and I'm just like, come on, what the fuck?
I like it for anime that used to be basically built around commercials. So it would have these weird little outros for like the anime when it went to commercial, and then it would have a little bit intro back. So one of them was
like
Sailor Moon. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then when they came back from commercial break, it would go, Sailor Moon. And she's on
She'd
the
be like,
little title screen.
Wah, wah, wah. And then she'd do like a little pose. That's cute, though.
Yeah. But it is interesting to see like the evolution of media pre and post mandatory ads. That's one thing we pay extra for on Hulu is ad free.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Because
it is
Hulu
so
will play the
worth
same
it.
ad over and over and over and over and over and over, and they know what they're doing to get us to update.
There was a point in time before we got Hulu ad free where every commercial break, I swear to God, was for the show called Tacoma FD. Remember, Anthony?
Yes, I remember this.
Every
of course I do.
commercial
It's
break,
burned into my
it was
brain.
3 ads in a row for this fucking show, and I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna watch this.
I'm not gonna
stupid
watch
show
Tacoma
because you
FD.
won't shut up about it.
That's my favorite part. Is like turning your eyes. You're like, I'm not going to give you the pleasure of watching this ad.
Or what I would do, I would just mute the fucking television until the show came back on because I'd be like, I'm not gonna listen to your stupid ad.
Because then it's then like a stupid song stuck in your brain. It's just those 3 ads repeating themselves in the exact same order.
So, not to get too far off topic, but something that is
Do it.
a little bit distressing about that type of. So, you were talking about diverting your eyes away from the ad. We were talking at work about that new Apple like AR VR headset that they've got. And
Yes.
my coworker was like, I hate it. I think it's a terrible idea. And I was like, well, I mean, it's not that bad. I think that the user interface is cool and stuff. He's like, no. The issue is that with that eye tracking, the way it works and how good it is that if they want me to watch an ad, I can't look away. It will always be in front of my eyes.
Did he forget
It's
about
like
his
that
eyelids?
Black Mirror. It was like, he said it's like that Black Mirror episode because like if there was a mandatory ad, the guy in the Black Mirror episode would close his eyes and the ad would pause.
Ad would it would pause.
Oh
Yeah.
no!
And he found his eyes up again.
Could you imagine like falling asleep and then waking up and it's like, so anyways, it goes right back to finishing.
So that was the thing is that the guy was trying to go to sleep in the episode and until he watched an ad, the lights wouldn't turn off.
Oh my God. I remember that episode
Yeah.
now that I think about it.
Yes. And he had to watch
Which
the
back when
full
we were
ad.
growing up, Beardos, if you fell asleep watching TV at night, you'd wake up at 3 a.m. to a Pure Moods commercial blasting full volume.
Inya.
Or you would also wake up to Celine Dion.
The George Lopez intro.
Oh, and the George Lopez intro.
Celine Dion. Oh yeah. When
Yes.
I'm your lady.
Yes.
Greatest voices
Songs.
of our time.
Yes. And then Michael Bolton.
Did you ever
Tell
see
me
the
how
drag
many
queen?
times.
Did you ever see the drag queen that did that routine, did that commercial, and she was like, "'Cause I'm your lady." The greatest voices of our
Yes.
so funny.
Oh.
Tell me how am I supposed-
That one, you bet your ass you'd wake up to.
Oh my God. Well, that one, and then like pyramid schemes, like the multi-level marketing schemes. You wake up and be like, this is how you can make $1 million in 2 days. Call now.
Or the
and get
Slap
my
Chop commercial.
system.
But so I grew up also with just an antenna in my room, so I did not have satellite or cable, even though the rest of the house did. But my parents hated me, and so I watched a lot of those infomercials
Yes.
on the weekends. And let me tell you, you had the Slap Chop, which was very important, and also the Bullet Blender, and
The
that was my
Magic bullet.
the Magic Bullet was my favorite because it was like
Yes.
kind of this like family skit, and the old woman walks in with her cigarettes, and she's like, where's breakfast?"
Oh my
yeah,
God, I love
Yeah.
the Magic Bullet commercial. It's
And
like
she-
half an hour.
Yes, and the British guy is like, we can make you an omelet in 3 minutes. And he's like, pop it in there, boop, boop. And then he like cooks it and they're like, presto.
Then the random uncle comes in, he's like hungover, and he's like, I need a drink. And he makes him a Bloody Mary or something.
Yes. Oh, hair on the dog.
And then, and he's like, what's the worst job in the kitchen? And she goes, garlic. Nasty, stinky garlic. And she's got like this huge ash hanging off her cigarette. And then he makes salt, and then as he says it, salsa for the big dime. And I'm like, God, what is this forced accent? It's just so over the top. I love that commercial.
The worst infomercial, and it will always live in my head. But also, what was the other one? The Miracle Blade knife.
Oh, yeah.
Where they're like throwing tomatoes in the air and slicing through them, and
Like
they're cutting
Fruit
mufflers
Ninja.
off car.
They're like, how much fun could we have with this? And they're just throwing fucking tomatoes. Like they could have gotten their point across by cutting like anywhere,
A normal
but no,
tomato?
in the air.
And like he slaps down a slab of Arizona limestone. He's like, the toughest rock to cut through. Look at what's coming off of it. It's just like powder of rock coming off as he's slicing away. And I'm like, I didn't need to cut flagstone in my kitchen, but thank you.
South Park made fun of that commercial when they did the sword with the dragon right on the blade, and then Cartman's like,
Oh my
"Whoa,
God.
right on the blade!" He just orders it.
It's good that we killed the infomercial industry, though. That's kind of been nice.
Oh,
They're
that's-
so much fun to watch, though, and make fun of. I love them.
I know. I kind of hate it.
Okay, so one more big industry on this list that I kind of agree with going away is diamonds. And I just think that
thank
they are
God.
unnecessary. They're impulsive. I mean, I guess if you're
Their
old-fashioned...
value is inflated by artificial means.
And the term blood diamond is actually, important.
Well, and they're not as rare as they're made out to be. They were made out to be
No,
these
they're
rare,
really
valuable
not.
gemstones. So their value rests solely in the mentality that they are valuable.
And then I'm going to save money. I'm going to write a song that's called Shine Bright Like a Cubic Zirconia because it's much cheaper.
I saw this article somewhere online, and it said that millennials are killing the diamond ring industry. And someone commented, "I work at a grocery store," and I was like, "You can't afford to buy diamonds because they're so inflated and stupid and useless." Like,
I just it's so funny to think about the diamond rings that were purchased by like previous generations. And they're like, I saved up for 3 months to buy this. And I'm like, 3 months? You didn't have like rent? You didn't have like a million other fucking things to pay? What the fuck
their
were you
rent was
saving?
$4, like in Monopoly.
Their landlords were like, "Oh, I'm gonna change my ways," and didn't
Like,
charge them
I
very
went to
much.
McDonald's and bought an entire hamburger, fries, and shake for 52 cents. I got to save up for a month. I'm like, what?
I'll never forget my stepdad telling me the story about when he went to get a cheeseburger from McDonald's and they went from 10 to 13 cents, and he ran back out to the car and asked his dad for 3 more cents, and his dad goes, "No, I'm not gonna pay that. You get in, we're going."
Whoa.
Where'd they go? Country Kitchen Buffet?
Home. There's food at home, honey.
The food at home. Hexagons, flavorless.
Could you imagine if a McDonald's burger was 13 cents though? Holy shit.
I would weigh 1,000 pounds.
I used to buy a large Big Mac meal when I was in high school for $5.85 because I remember that being something I could afford. And now I'm like, 12 what?
Beardos, to age
It's
myself a bit,
expensive.
when I first started driving, this was 2004. And that was when the McDonald's had just unveiled the dollar menu because they were like, hey, this fat ass kid, Joe, just started driving. Let's get him. And so I would go through the drive thru and get 2 double cheeseburgers and a small Diet Coke. And it was like $2.50.
Yeah. Everything was a dollar menu.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I miss the real dollar menu. It's funny
Me
because like
too.
we watched this documentary on how McDonald's sort of pigeonholed themselves by calling it the dollar menu, and now it's the value menu.
Like, value for who? Not me.
Right. But thank God diamonds are dead. Fuck
Thank
diamonds.
God diamonds are dead. I mean, we've killed
Yeah.
diamonds. And the things that I thought of today when I was trying to think of this episode is, I mean, we generally have killed like a lot of big box clothing and especially big box electronic stores.
Yep.
Department stores
What's the
is on
point?
this list, and I think it's true. We
kill the idea of answering the phone because now I'm just like
Oh,
everything's a
yeah.
spammer. So unless I know it's someone
I get
need,
so many spam calls a day. That's all I
And
get.
nowadays-
is spam calls.
My phone will filter them, and it says scam likely, and I'm like, ignore.
ignore. I also have killed myself answering the door because I just open my app to see if it's anybody I'm interested in opening the door for.
Yeah, but why? Yeah, I was going to say.
Yep.
And even then, if I didn't have an app, I just wouldn't open the door.
Yeah, and that's the thing is
Yep.
I would just probably sit there and wait. Like, there's no
I will
reason
maintain
to come to
that
my door.
The Ring doorbell or the Blink camera, those are some of the greatest inventions recently created because
Mhm.
they give me so much peace of mind. I can see what's in the driveway, what's at the front door without even having to get up, and it's so
It's
much
like
easier
screening your
and so
calls,
convenient.
but for your front door.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, and we killed chain restaurants. That was another one because they're
yeah.
just not doing what they used to do.
There are some chain restaurants that absolutely deserve it.
Their sales are not like down to the degree that I would have thought they were, but just
Yeah.
the fact that they're down in sales made people start shutting them down, and that just tells you what capitalism is all about.
Yeah.
There was a time recently where we decided to order food from a chain restaurant, and we were looking around, and we got on Red Lobster's website. The prices are insane, and I was like,
God,
no wonder they're dying out. No one can afford it, first of all,
it's
and
so
second of
stupid.
all, it's not worth this price anyway. We can
If
I
find
could- wanted-
better food or go somewhere cheaper. Goodbye.
Yeah.
There are so many, at least here in Tulsa, there are so many smaller local establishments that give you a better product, better service, and much better prices than a chain restaurant anymore. So it makes much more sense to give them your business instead.
or the same price, and you're giving it to a local business owner, and generally more authentic.
Yeah. Like, I enjoy a lot of our local restaurants. They're so much better.
They're so much better.
The
There's been
staff's
a lot
nicer,
of
the food's
controversy
better.
recently about Chipotle and their portion sizes shrinking and their prices going up, and it's certainly changed my opinion about them. We haven't been to Chipotle in a very long time.
Yeah, I just don't care for it because they do give you smaller portion sizes. I remember being able to go and like ordering just a regular bowl and feeling full after eating that bowl. But now I have to get like extra rice and then extra meat. And like I've got to pile it on to get a good enough portion for me to feel full.
And it's like $14 now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's stupid.
No, not worth it. So they no
No.
longer get our business because it's just
Nope.
not worth it. Sorry.
I've also
not
just been
sorry.
making myself eat out less, which that one's so hard because I just don't want to cook, but it's helpful, sadly. I made a bomb-ass Detroit-style pizza the other day.
We do a pretty good job of not eating out. Like we just don't do it that often.
And when we do, we make pretty good choices financially about it to make it worth it for us.
That's it.
Yeah.
I'm getting down to maybe once a week, sometimes twice a week if things are going on. And it's usually on the weekend when, if something's going on, I'm like, I just don't feel it. So I think a couple weekends ago, we were coming home from something and I was like, I just want to go to lunch. Let's just get something.
On the weekend,
Froze
what?
on the weekend.
Did I say this weekend?
You said
You
on
said
the weekend
on
and
the
then you
weekend.
froze.
Oh. So on the weekends is usually when we'll do it. And then occasionally, like a few weekends ago, basically we were coming home from something right before lunch. And I was like, I don't want to cook. So let's just stop and eat. And so we went and literally got water and club sandwiches. So it's not like we went all out either.
Mhm.
Yeah. Well, like tonight, I was texting Joe like, "Hey, here are a couple of options for dinner. We could do chicken sandwiches. I could also make pasta. Like, there's a couple of things we could do." And he mentioned getting pizza, and so we got a Costco pizza for $10.
Yeah, it popped into my mind on the way home, and I was like, oh, that's right. I can get an 18-inch pizza from Costco for $9.99.
Yeah.
So that's what we did.
Yep, and that's what we did because the kitchen was clean and we didn't want to dirty it.
Yep.
Yep.
That is definitely something else I'm really good at being like, I'm going to make a sandwich. If the kitchen's nice.
And honestly, now that I think about it, Joe, like you could have just brought home a rotisserie chicken. We could have had like chicken and veggies too for $5
Yeah.
and some change.
I just remembered it's been a while since we had pizza, and it was a budget-friendly
I'm glad
option,
you did.
and I'm glad that I did it because
I bit into that fucking slice and I tasted the sauce and I went, about a buzzed.
Oh, yeah. This, a couple weekends ago, I made a Detroit style at home and I tried a new crust because I've always used like regular yeast and it always was a little bit like a poofy bread. And so I'm like, I'm going to try fast rise yeast and do it a little more like actual crust. And oh my God, it came out so perfect.
We'll have to do pizzas in the pizza oven sometime if you come up and visit.
it's a lot of fun.
I'll make a homemade crust and we'll compare our pizzas.
Matt and Kaylin brought their homemade dough last time they came over and did it. And like, so I made the sauce and got the toppings and stuff ready. So yeah.
And one of my favorite impulse purchases that I bought was a cast iron deep dish pizza pan. So it's a rectangle cast iron dish.
I used to use
it
CC's all the
crisps
time.
so good. It's perfect.
They do. They're built for it. Well, that's a fun little bitch session, as you will, from the three of us about some industries that we're blamed for, as usual.
All of our sessions are bitch sessions.
You think it's time for a commercial?
Because you're a bitch, Anthony. Yes, I think it is.
You're a bitch, Jay.
You're
And
correct.
Joe is too.
Girls. You're both bitches. All right, so
Girls.
And now for a word from our sponsor, Mrs. Garrett. Notice the litter spot from the top of the right can.
girls.
Why is Family Guy always our go-to? I love it.
It's so
Because we're
quotable.
stupid fucking millennials, Jay.
That's what we
It's our
are.
favorite show in
We don't know
college.
good quality TV.
And now for a word from our sponsor, Gable TV Plus.
Imagine a world where we don't have so many decisions to make. Like, what streaming service should I open today? Can I afford yet another streaming service in my budget? Why can't we share passwords? Don't you want to be in control of this crazy world of streaming? When do we say enough is enough? Introducing new Gable TV Plus. With Gable TV Plus, we removed the hassle of different subscribers, different bills, different packages for each bill, and simplified it. We took away the app bouncing, the fees for canceling, and the fear of missing out for not having one service, and made your life better. With Gable, you just simply log into one app. That's all. Open the Gable app and sort through every show that every streaming service offers. We made this possible at a reasonable rate just by adding ad services that you have to watch before and after each show. 9 minutes of ads for 30-minute shows and 15 minutes of ads for hour-long shows. We don't break apart shows like cable. We also partnered with well-known location apps so you can find locals near you to share TV time with. And you can order your Gable TV Plus packages in 3 simple services: top, bottom, and versatile. So, you'll always find a close friend to watch with. Maybe spend time with the family, or down a gallon of ice cream by yourself. Gable TV Plus. The change that you've been waiting for to cut the clutter. Gable TV Plus is a subsidiary of the Comcast Corporation, and streaming speeds work substantially faster if you connect your Gable box by cord, but can also work with streaming with buffering guarantee. Hey guys, make sure you follow and subscribe to our podcast so you can receive a notification every Sunday when a new episode drops.
Anyways, I'm so glad that I switched to Gable TV Plus.
They have everything that I needed and a lot of stuff that I didn't know that I didn't not need.
I'm cutting all of my streaming services because, wow, it was so annoying keeping up with all those bills. And the only thing I have to think about is that now I just have to watch just a few commercials every few minutes.
And as I
Exactly.
cut the cable, I thought, I'm loving that I'm going with their uncut package, which gives me everything.
Some of us didn't have a choice about getting that package, Joe. It wasn't up to us.
I don't know. When you peel back the terms and conditions, you can really see a lot of things that you never saw before.
You really have to clean those terms and conditions, though.
You have to be a little more sensitive about it.
Yeah, it's very annoying that I did not get the choice to just have to get the uncut package. Or wait, the
And
cut
once
package.
you get the cut package, you can never get the uncut package.
Yeah, you can't go back. You have to stay with the cut
You
package.
stay with the cut
You
package
can't-
no matter what.
You can't uncut the cable.
Although I will say there's a lot less maintenance.
A lot less maintenance, a lot less sensitivity. So, you know,
It doesn't hurt as
Womp
much when you
womp.
plug it in.
Does it not?
No.
Oh, I thought you always got so sensitive and whenever you went in and
Moving on.
Anyways, do we have any Beardo submitted sundries?
We do. We got a message from Todd from DC.
Hi, Todd.
Odd.
And as you know,
That's
I think
exciting.
Todd was our very first voicemail that was like nobody we knew and just a random listener. And I can't begin to tell you how much we loved that. And he actually gave me kind of a
Yep.
fun idea that I didn't think of. And he wants to claim the DC area on our 50 states map. And I was like, oh, that's
should.
brilliant. So I'm going to
Yeah.
update our website soon. And then besides that, and he said he does tell his friends in DC and that he listens weekly and they have a very vibrant gay community out there. So
Yes, they do.
I'm so glad you still listen. Thank you so
Mhm.
much.
I was very honored whenever I got that email today.
Yeah, we have a couple of friends who lived in DC for a while, and they're talking about a move back to DC in the next year. But yeah, they always say good things about the community there, and yeah,
It is funny.
It's very welcoming and very accepted there, and that's great to hear, especially for our nation's capital.
When I
Right.
heard DC was so like vibrant and liberal and gay friendly, it confused me because I always think of politics as being staunch and very uptight. And so I just imagined the cities just like very and finding out that it was the opposite was nice.
We've been there a couple times, and it's very nice. I like it a lot.
who is that senator with the little ladybugs?
Lindsey Graham from South Carolina. My mom
Yeah.
loves him. She loves to tell that joke about the little ladybugs.
There has to be a great gay scene there for someone like Lindsey Graham to get some.
Oh, I can only imagine how much the Grindr notifications go off whenever there's kind of like a
In
convention
Congress,
town. Yeah.
they have to like edit it out of the live streams.
C-SPAN's like, come on, get it out of there.
And then besides that, the past couple weeks, I've been having more beardos that just randomly message us through Instagram or TikTok, which I like to have the conversation when I can. Hopefully I'm not too busy at work to continue responding. But so we've definitely had Todd some. And then one of my favorites on TikTok, and it's solely because of his name. I love his TikTok name is literally Rub-a-Dub Cub.
That's
Oh, I
And
love
it's
that.
so cute.
That's
and he's
super
super nice. He's out of Seattle. So, and he said that he's catching up. And I was like, oh my gosh, please push through or just skip to like season 3 where we really start to rock it out.
cute.
I said,
There's some
our-
gems back there.
yeah. And I told him, I said, but the thing is our newer episodes, they're very much a fun vibe. But I said, but to be fair, we also use a lot of inside jokes from older episodes. So it wouldn't hurt to go through them.
Yeah, that's true.
And then lastly, we're still going through with our August throwback photos for back to school month. And this week, I'm hoping you all saw Pete the dog. I loved that somebody sent their dog pictures. So that was cute.
Aw.
I haven't yet. I didn't think about that.
I know you dumb
I
dumb.
loved it. It was so cute.
Michael here in OKC also sent his, which it was painful because that was his baby picture was 2001. So,
Oh
A
boy.
child.
but that is what
Oh,
I had this
no.
week of scheduled and as of recording. So if you sent something that I didn't talk about, it's because you sent it after we recorded. But that is my user content.
I had some fun feedback from Beardo Catherine.
Hi, Catherine.
She talked about our toxic masculinity episode after listening, and she said, as soon as I heard the word muddin, I knew it was coming, LOL. To which I laughed heartily, and I said, did you get to the Beardo Submitted Sundries yet? Which was where we played the recorders and tried to activate the brown noise and failed. And she said, I just did. OMG, if I still had my contrabass clarinet, I would so do that. I would just leave a stealthy brown note voicemail, LOL. Which, very good, Catherine. Excellent as always. Thank you so much.
We appreciate your dedication, Catherine.
Yes.
You are our favorite Beardo in all of Wisconsin.
No, Shanae's in Wisconsin. That is my favorite Beardo.
Oh, no. Throw
Other
down.
Beardo in Wisconsin is my favorite.
Actually,
Generic
guys,
Beardo here.
what if we set those two up to fight each other for who's the better Beardo?
How would we fight, though? Like just a fist fight?
I don't know.
No. Catherine shows up in Shanae's front lawn with a player piano. What up, bitch?
But then Shanae learns the contrabass clarinet and like plays the brown note like before she can start the player piano.
I was going to say that Shanae never even comes out of the house. She just comes roaring down the street and plows through the player piano with an old Jeep Cherokee that she'd been mudding in.
With a pair, she swings around and the truck nuts just take it out.
And guys, that is going to be our first Patreon content, so sign up whenever we get that set up.
God, do I leave this in or not? Is this fun enough for everyone?
No,
or just
leave it
fun
in.
for
It's
us?
fun.
Oh my god, please don't take it out.
Well, what an interesting development in the break room today, Beardos. But does anyone have something to check out?
I think Jay has something to check out.
I do, surprisingly, because I forgot I did. So because we referenced a lot of topics regarding infomercials earlier in this episode, it really made us go, oh, we should show them a lot of things that inspired our stupid humor for this podcast. And I'm going to refer you all to YouTube and go to Djibouti Dubs, which is spelled JABOODYDUBS. So he does all these dubs over infomercials, which are fucking amazing. And my two favorite is the Banoodle and the Sticky Buddy dub. Those two live in my brain forever. You can see my pussy here.
Oh my gosh! At my previous workplace, I had a coworker, and we would reference Banoodle all the time, and we would have to go to the walk-in to get supplies, and we'd be like, "Oh, I gotta go into the pantry to pack my lunch, and pack my picnic basket."
Oh my god! But I loved those so much. I mean, he does also more than infomercials. He does TV shows, and I think one of them was that infamous televangelist, and it's Peter Popoff is what he does. So they're like 7 or 8 minutes long, but they're so funny.
God. We did our own little version of Djibouti Dubs sitting outside of a Buc-ee's in Texas on the way to our cruise.
Oh my god. Let me just set the stage for you guys. I kind of got them on camera for a little bit of this. I was in the back seat. They would watch people coming out of the Buc-ee's gas station, walk into their cars, and they would narrate what they were saying to each other. And then a Muslim woman came out, and they got silent, stone cold silent. I said, "Oh, what do you guys want to say about this one?" And they wouldn't say anything, and I was like, "Okay."
No, I remember finally going, "Hello, I'm a well-educated woman, and I am respectable, and people treat me poorly because of stereotypes," or something like that.
And then you turned on the car, and we drove away.
Yeah.
From you.
Throw away.
We left after that.
Eating my Buc-ee's chips with mustard.
Oh, that
My
scene
God.
lives in my head. I still laugh out loud thinking about it.
It was so much fun. Like,
'Cause it was
I
just-
loved doing that.
We just kept going and going, and then she walked out, and I was like, I'm a respectable woman,
You guys
and
were like,
I am...
pass.
Because I'm like, we can't fall into American standards of being horrible people. We can't do it.
We already are awful.
So now you know that our humor lives around Djibouti Dubs and
Yep.
Family Guy.
Yep, all the time.
Jay's old woman voice is just based off Djibouti dubs, and he owes him extra credit.
As a woman who loves taking shits and hates cleaning up after them, I use the never scrub.
Actually, that's a direct rip from that one commercial, and I can't remember which commercial it was. When you come back in from that like regular break in the commercial, and then it's the deranged woman next.
God, what was I advertising?
Yeah, Boober.
Was it? Oh no! Was it Boober? It's the one with
I
the
don't think so.
The moms.
It's
Is
a
that
woman
not
who.
Boober?
It
They'll
was the
drive you
mom
around?
one because we had all the different moms because we all recorded different.
For Mother's
parts.
It was
Day.
about kids. As a woman who has 5 kids
woman
but
who-
hates cleaning up after them.
Yeah, or
Yeah.
something like that.
I thought it was Boober, the moms that will pick you up from certain places.
Maybe. Oh yeah, that's
Maybe
it.
it was that.
Was it called Boober?
It was.
I don't
I was
know.
thinking of Dragger when you said Boober.
What the drag queens that will
Oh.
pick you up.
We do
Wow.
a lot of plays on Grindr on this podcast.
We do.
It's the most
Wow.
famous app.
It is. We Googled it.
Well, that was an amazing something to check out. It really brought us around to our usual hijinks, but I think it's giggity giggity game time.
Giggity giggity.
So, are you guys ready for this game?
I think
It's
I
so.
a real-
think so, Anthony.
It's a real killer.
Oh,
Is it Scream?
This is a game I'm calling The Death of Me.
Finally.
Shut the fuck up. Wow. Fuck off. Game over. Joe wins.
We already know that's going to happen. Derek with the good beard, I'm going
I
to
don't
lose
know.
this. Don't root for me.
I don't know. I was knocked off my throne a couple weeks ago.
I don't know. This is a pretty good one. So I'm going to describe something that people claim millennials have killed, and you have to guess what it is that I am describing.
Oh,
Okay.
I like that we're going with
Don't
this
worry.
format now.
It's not too long. There are only 7 items, and it could be an item, it could be a thing, it could be an industry, it could be an ideal, it could just be anything. So keep your mind open, right?
Hmm.
And I think
Joe,
you'll have
Just
a
like
pretty
my
easy
legs.
I was like, Joe, you have to leave something else open for once.
time. However, since these are relatively easy, you're only going to get 2 guesses apiece.
Oh.
Okay,
So, are you ready?
ready.
I am ready.
Perfect. Number 1. Millennials should be charged with negligence for their unwillingness to use these. Instead, they've taken to texting here.
Phone calls.
Nope.
Facebook Messenger.
Nope. Millennials should be charged with negligence for their unwillingness to use these. They've taken to texting here. instead.
Horns.
Nope.
Damn.
I didn't think about it, but this could be difficult for you guys because you're both millennials.
Oh no. Texting here instead.
Think of when you text here.
Oh, like the phrase. Can I get it one more time?
Sure can. Millennials should be charged with negligence for their unwillingness to use these. Instead, they've taken to texting here.
Unwillingness to use these. They're texting here.
I guess I should also have phrased it. Texting the word here.
Doorbells.
Doorbells it is.
Oh, that's annoying. I was going to say doorbells, and then I was
Yes.
like, oh, but also people used to honk, so I'm going to pick something that's not doorbells. Damn
No,
it.
it's doorbells. Actually, millennials do not use doorbells. Typically, they text the word here to let
I
someone
won't even
know
get the
that
fuck
they're
out of
at
my
their home.
car.
Yeah, right.
Exactly.
We do the same thing. There's a neighbor 2 houses down across the street that honks their horn every morning to get the kids. I'm just like, shut the fuck up.
No, I would never do that. That's so disrespectful to people around me.
Getting out of the car to go up to someone's door to let them know you're there when you have a little phone in your hand that you can just do the same thing with, like, come on.
You're going to be surprised. A few of these involve phones in some way, shape, or form.
Thank God they saved the world.
Like this next one. This service has been all but decimated thanks to millennials, as they often opt to text instead. This would explain why ours is always so empty.
Voicemail.
Voicemail, and it was Jay.
Yay!
That fucking audio delay got me again.
Whatever. Shut up. If Jay got it, I'm pretty sure.
I'll get it during editing, but Jesus.
Okay. These devices have been run over by millennials as they choose those pesky smartphones over them to get where they need to go.
GPS?
GPS it is.
Yeah.
Don't car rental companies still offer them as like an add-on?
Do. It's stupid. I heard somebody opt to add one on once, and I was shocked. So I was like, that car has got to have CarPlay or Android Auto. Like, what the fuck?
Let them spend the money.
Number 4, millennials have decided to pour this product right down the drain, not replacing it with anything. A VP for a company that manufactures this product attributed it to the generation being more eco-conscious, and yet another theorized that millennials don't know what the product is even for. Even so, I think my tidy whities come out smelling just fine.
Bleach.
No.
Tide Pods?
No.
Fabric softener?
Fabric softener.
That was my next guess, yeah.
Yep, that's the one.
It's true. I really don't use it.
Don't we use it still?
We do use it. Yeah. But we use it in the form of those little like pearls or whatever they are.
The Unstoppables?
Yeah, that's it. Okay, next one. These items have been wadded up and tossed in the bin by millennials, who have all but ditched buying them since generally they consider paper towels to work just as well.
Napkins?
Napkins it is, Jay.
Good one.
Okay, the score is Joe 3, Jay 2. We're down to the last two. Okay, number 6. Don't tell Fleetwood Mac, but millennials may have broken these businesses. While the generation does spend more money on this industry than any other, they prefer local places with niche options.
Concert venues?
Nope.
CDs?
Nope.
Will you read it again? Because I cut out and I'm not sure
Yep.
if I actually caught it all.
Oh, yeah, sure. Don't tell Fleetwood Mac, but millennials may have broken these businesses. While the generation does spend more money on this industry than any other, they prefer local places with niche options.
Chain restaurants?
Chain restaurants.
Oh.
What's Fleetwood Mac have to do with that?
The chain.
Oh. Okay.
Oh my god, you guys.
What song is that? Which Fleetwood Mac song? Is that
No way. You're not serious.
You go again.
No.
What's-
That's Dreams.
Oh.
It's literally, the song is called The Chain.
My problem is I
Okay.
can't hear it in my head right now.
You will never love
That's
me
the one.
again. I can
Oh,
still
that one.
hear you say we will never break the chain.
I completely forgot about that song, so that's why that description did not make sense to me.
It was
I
lost on
completely
us.
forgot
We're
about
young
that.
millennials, Anthony.
Yeah, sorry, you're old.
That's wild. I thought that you guys would have known that one, though, because Fleetwood Mac, I mean, come on.
So I know the song.
I know Fleetwood Mac. I just don't know their discography.
Yeah, my problem
well,
is
that's not...
I'm really bad at matching artists a lot of times, like quickly.
Yeah, that's not like an obscure song. That's a very well...
I know it's not an
Fleetwood
obscure
Mac
song. I just don't know it by name. I can't pull it out of thin air.
Okay, last one. You guys ready?
No.
Ready?
Fantastic. Maybe all millennials are axe murderers because this institution has seen a decline in their age group. They often wait longer to devote themselves to it or choose to forgo it entirely. Sorry for the drop in business, Angie Pumps Sullivan.
Divorce attorneys.
No, but you're on the right track.
Lawyers?
Marriage counseling.
Nope. I was going to read it one more time. So, Jay, I'll read it one more time for you. Maybe all millennials are axe murderers because this institution has seen a decline in their age group. They often wait longer to devote themselves to it or choose to forgo it altogether. Sorry for the drop in
Oh.
Oh, business, Angie Pumps Sullivan.
Oh, parenting? Sorry, I was
No,
thinking like
It's marriage.
oh, because I was like trying to think of like people not having kids. They like forego it altogether, and
Oh, yeah. No, I thought the word institution would like.
that's what actually made me
Oh.
debate parenting. Because I was like, institution.
Nope. It was marriage. Marriage was the answer because you can't get divorced if you don't get married.
Nice.
You can't destroy your credit score if you don't get divorced.
Right. And so the final scores are Joe 3, Jay 2.
Yay! Thank God nobody was
Three.
rooting for me.
I counted 4.
I thought I said 4.
You said 3.
Oh, I'm sorry. The final score is Joe 4, Jay 2.
Yay!
Sorry, Derek with the good beard. If you were rooting for Jay, you've made a mistake yet again.
You should know that betting with me
It's
is
time for
a
another-
very, very bad.
We were
bad
all
idea.
rooting.
We were all rooting for you.
Like, what if we just open the voicemail every week like that when I lose?
That's a good idea.
Maybe you should make a sound clip for when Jay loses every time.
Oh, that's a great
Have
idea.
Derek's voice clip right there.
Yes.
We were all
rooting for you.
I love that. We're going to do that next week.
That's funny.
Well, Beardos, we've killed the break time industry because we work so fucking much. And I hear the Muzak coming back on. But go ahead and call our hotline and leave us a voicemail. The number is 405-999-2242.
And Beardos, just like all those thirsty golf courses in Arizona, we're super thirsty too, so we've got to go. If you would like to help us out, go and subscribe to our podcast so you can get reminders every Sunday when we release a new episode. We also post frequent updates on all of our social medias for any additional sundries that we add to the market.
And don't forget to rate us 5 stars and leave a review. We really want to hear from you. It's been a while since we've read a review out on the podcast, so I would love to have one next week. Those ratings are what get us found by more people. Also, just each one of you telling a friend to listen to the podcast would double our growth, and we would really appreciate that.
We, as millennials, have not killed the internet yet, so go check out our webpage and all of our socials. Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, Threads. You can check out our website at beardsandsundries.com. If you want to chat with us more, you can email us at beardsandsundries@gmail.com.
So, from all of us here at the Beards and Sundries Market, the last remaining brick and mortar that hasn't been killed by the millennials yet, make sure to always...
Love yourself.
Because we already love you. Bye, Beardo.
Bye.
Mwah.